Close this. Get hot. We'll open that window.
Okay, I don't think it'll get too hot.
You get sweaty a little.
Huh?
You sweat.
I do sweat. I am a sweater.
You're the sweat man. Alright. That going on. I got another fucking camera here. My gadgets. I can't stop.
Okay.
My gadgets.
I got those cameras at work.
These Logitechs?
Yeah.
Oh man.
We get should let me know, and if we need more, I'll get some.
Yeah. We'll put like a few cameras all over the
Like several all over the place.
Several.
Do it, and then we'll hook it up to a sound thing, so that if we have other people here, like the camera will go to them when they speak.
Oh, we can do that. We most certainly can.
Totally defeating my workout this morning. These goddamn chips.
Yes, that can happen. That does happen when you cook. Are you hearing yourself?
What's that?
You hearing? Yeah.
I don't hear anything in here.
Oh,
In the headphones. No,
you don't hear it.
I hear nothing.
Mm-hmm. Says Inspector Clouseau. You don't hear yourself?
Correct. Now I do. Yes.
Now you do.
Yes. Nothing.
Nothing?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. One problem solved. You. That is you. Okay. Eat all the chips. All right. Let's see what's going on. In TV land.
Something ain't plugged in.
No, that's that's a mini mic. Nothing going on with that.
Mini mic. Mini mic.
So missing money.
Mini mic.
Huh. Man, snacks will
They'll destroy everything.
yeah,
They'll just get in the way.
they sure do.
My wife and I went out to see a friend yesterday who lives out in Holbrook.
Ooh, long
So that's a 45-minute drive from
yeah,
where we are.
sure is. Yeah.
So we're driving, she's driving, and she says, "Oh," she says, "I got a bag of Chex Mix in the thing."
You tell us now, like,
Yeah, she opened it up, and we.
and you had been driving already. You were already
Right, exactly.
right.
And it became one of those things where, like, look, somebody's got to throw this out.
Jeez. We'll keep talking.
I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
I'll keep talking if you want me to keep talking. What do you want me to talk about? You know what we can talk about? We can talk about Jennifer. Jennifer is so stupid. Jennifer eats hot food with mayonnaise.
Ill. Hey.
And I said, "Oh, Jennifer, you're going to destroy your insides, and you just had that surgery."
Who the fuck is Jennifer?
I have no idea. You just told me to keep talking.
Yeah.
Makes sense or nothing.
We are trying to keep talking. We are pumping visuals
All over the place.
all over the goddamn place.
We are on the verge of getting a little midget to hold up a camera for us.
We can get a midget. It would be awesome. Is that fair to midgets? I mean, well,
No.
okay, so hold on. The word midget came from somewhere. We didn't invent it, right?
It's everything comes from Latin, so it's got to be some like Latin or Greek.
Midget. Ah.
Which means short motherfucker or something like that. I have no idea.
Hold on, I'm trying to get Facebook Live, but keep talking. Keep talking. Don't worry about me.
Well, if you are a midget, you have to. I think like kind of like the thing you said about the guy with the handlebar mustache. Don't act like you don't have a handlebar mustache. If you're a midget, don't act like you're 3 feet. Don't act like you're not 3 feet tall.
Right.
Just acknowledge that, and then if I meet you for the first time, just acknowledge that those first 3 minutes, I might go, oh, just give me a moment. Because I'm not used to like talking, turning and talking and then going like this, and stuff like that. So, forgive me if I'm a little awkward for a second.
There was I was in an elevator one time, and oddly enough, a messenger was. It was a crowded elevator. It was like a host of unsavory usual like you don't know where anyone's.
You
from,
don't know where
right?
anybody's from and whatnot. It could be anybody.
This one guy goes on and he goes, "Damn, that's fucked up." And they're like, no one's like, "Who are you talking to?
What are
Me?
you talking about?"
And he looks at the midget and he says, "You got to smell people's ass all day." The guy was literally standing behind someone's ass because of his height. I mean, vertically challenged, whatever you want to call it. And everybody just was like, "What the fuck?"
How did the midget respond, or did
And
he?
he just looked back and did the little. Yeah. It was just weird. It was just a weird comment, but for the guy to say that, it was kind of ballsy,
I guess but props to him. I mean, he kind of like said what's on his mind.
Yeah, well, that's
I mean, I guess you can't hate the guy for that.
no,
Maybe a little lesson in decorum or some shit like that.
Correct.
But hey,
correct. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to broadcast from the camera. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, man, just use the fucking camera.
what, for going Facebook Live?
Everything.
They use it to ask you all those. No, I'm saying all that.
Yeah, it's just fucking going nuts.
Normally doesn't ask you all those questions.
It's just doing dumb shit to me. It's
So why don't you just do it? Why don't you just do what I ask you to
still
do?
fucking live.
Just do it. Just do it, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Try broadcasting the latest desktop version of Google Chrome Live. Fuck you. Okay.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. No, I gotta use Chrome. That's what it is.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
All this fuck. It's amazing how these like web browsers they react differently to different things, and
You're just stupid.
it's not supposed to. Right. Like you have to like know that.
Right. Oh, you're using this. Now, for most people that are not savvy, this drives people nuts.
Yeah.
This makes you crazy. Like you sit there and go, well, I pressed it. Where did it go?
Yeah,
like, where did the files go? Where are my files?
Right.
Where are my files?
So you don't know if it's all Google Chrome, Explorer, Firefox, Safari.
Right.
There's a couple other ones that whatever happened to Netscape?
Yeah. They were kind of like the beginning.
They started the whole thing off.
Netscape was pretty popular. What was the other one?
There was Netscape,
Accelerate.
Yes,
Excite.
I think it was.
Well, yeah.
There's got to be some new ones coming out, though. I think we're at that point. Where, okay, you guys have kind of dominated. Somebody has to be developed. You would like to think that somebody's developing something that says, hey, you don't have to use that. You can use this. Like the popular search engine is Google. Everybody says, oh, just Google it and find out.
Well, it even becomes the term now. Now people just say,
just Google it. But now, let's say you don't like Google and, something like DuckDuckGo becomes really popular.
What do you do now? You create a new language and you just say, hey, go duck it.
Right, yeah. Go duck it. Go duck hunting. That's a good one.
Go duck it.
Go duck hunting for it.
Go duck it. It is very interesting that we subscribe. It's the tail wagging the dog now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Technology is now perversing and giving us what it wants.
Right.
And we have to fucking accept it. Like, we just have to.
Right. Because we have to comply to it to a certain degree. And if you realize what I just found out is that these. So we talked about this last week when
Here we go. That's what I'm saying.
that dude who got kicked off of Patreon.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it wasn't Patreon that did it. It was
the PayPal, right?
It was or whoever the credit card. I think it was either MasterCard or Visa.
Okay, MasterCard.
And so, are like MasterCard and Visa now validating what I do with my money?
Yeah.
So if I decide to buy,
I think they've always done that. No,
but make a decision on your access based on what you bought. So if you bought freaking bestiality pornography or something like that, and then they all of a sudden decided, hey, you know what, you did this thing, and we don't like the fact that you did that, so your access to certain things is cut off. How is that? It's pretty fucked up. I mean, it's pretty fucked up. What it does is it tells, hey, I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't supposed to. A little delay.
Well, no, it's yeah. I was. We're live on Periscope here. We're on Instagram Live, and we're on Facebook Live. So we're live
all over the place to start off 2019.
Right.
Woo!
Right. Exactly.
Happy New Year. Merry New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry New Year. I am going to share this on Twitter. So if you're on my Twitter, on the Two Bros Podcast Twitter, we're going to connect it to that. Let's see if that happens.
Just no excuses Facebook now. No excuses. If you're not liking it, you just don't like it. So,
woo! So we're streaming live on Periscope
until we say something. Until we say something stupid and they kick us off.
Yeah, that's
apparently that's what.
Obviously,
apparently that's what can happen, right?
Yeah, but like you said, with Patreon and all these other websites and I guess it's just fucking weird how we're subscribing to this. We're giving it so much credit.
Right.
We're allowing it to dictate everything that we do. We're allowing it to be part of who we are. We're allowing it to. We've become the engine. I mean, the fuel of it. Like, we could stop it. Like, we have the power to stop it.
Yeah. Like if we decided that for whatever reason, let's say we didn't like what Visa and MasterCard are doing.
Right.
So let's say, for a month, we decided that we're not going to do any business with Visa or MasterCard. For whatever reason.
Right.
How much of an impact could that make? Because they're a service provider.
Correct. They're
ultimately a service provider. And if everybody wrote in who said, hey, look, I don't like the fact that you're monitoring the shit I buy.
Right.
And saying that you're going to place value judgments on me, kind of the shit that they're doing in China now, where they're giving you points for stuff, and then they're saying, "Oh, you are this kind of a person because you bought pornography, or you spend a bunch of your money at the bar or something like that, or whatever." So
it's sad because we've been warned of this. Mm-hmm. Through
many times,
through many scriptures, many texts, many proverbs, many
books, and there's movies. All of that, dating as far back as like the end of World War II was probably the time where people say, "Hey, look, this is people are making decisions on our behalf without at least asking us, hey, can we do this?" And if we're supposed to be if our voice is supposed to be the most powerful voice, well, then shouldn't we have a voice in those things? Shouldn't we have a voice if Visa or MasterCard says, "Hey, we're gonna judge your purchases and shit like that"? Well, we should have a voice in that.
Well, yeah. I mean, even now with this fucking and they put the snitches in your home. We have a snitch. Yeah. We have a snitch visiting us right now.
Yes.
Hey, Google. Look at Google fucking pops up. What time is it?
12:19.
That's a snitch.
This fucking bitch is listening to everything we talk
snitch.
About. Hey, Google, have you heard of Two Bros Podcast?
I'm not really sure. Sorry.
Can you subscribe?
Nothing's playing right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Google, you're not helping us. You're kind of useless,
I'm sorry.
She will apologize.
She'll apologize. Google, are you hooked into the CIA?
Your security comes first in everything Google does.
Oh.
It's important Google keeps your data private and safe and puts you in control. You can learn more about Google's privacy policy at privacy.google.com/your-security.html.
Well, there you have it.
Google.com/your-security.html.
Slash your dash.
Thank you, Google.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I said thank you. Okay, never mind.
You just said thank you. But these are the things we subscribe to, and we just love them. The gadgets that come in all forms. I'm unfortunately addicted to digital prowess. Like, I just love gadgets. As you can see. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but I have to have every fucking gadget that has, because I want to try it. I want to play with it.
Right.
But I get bored with it too. I then throw it away and I say, I don't want this anymore. I don't.
But then you
it.
forget that it's listening to you all the time. I got a buddy who has all this stuff hooked up to his house, and he can say, "Hey, Alexa, turn on my bedroom lights,"
right,
and stuff. And
I have Alexa also. So what I was going to do is put them two. Maybe we'll do a session where we.
What if they start talking to each other?
That's what's going to happen. So that happened.
Yes,
with Facebook, right?
With Facebook,
Facebook created a bot that had it was listening to people. Like, it was it created and then it started creating its own language, and it started talking to itself, and it created an encrypted language of its own. And they kind of were like, hey, wait a minute, what are you guys talking about? Like, and they found it easier to talk to each other in binary and zeros and ones, and they shut it. They say they shut it down. I don't fucking believe they shut it down.
Those are the guys in what is it? Something Dynamics or something like that. The
robotics company.
The AI, the company in Massachusetts. They said they realized that these wait a minute, these fucking things are talking to each other.
Fucking things are pretty fucking smart too, and they get it.
Cyberdyne.
Yeah, they really get it. Shout out to all those that are on Instagram Live. We cannot see, the keyboard is way too far away.
But we appreciate you dialing in.
Absolutely.
Listen to us. Absolutely. I think they're going to kick us off in an hour. So
Instagram only gives us an hour. I'm not sure how long Periscope goes. Facebook Live, I think, can do the whole thing. So we're on all platforms. And there's a way I'm learning. Tommy Danger's been teaching me. We are trying to...
Tommy Danger.
Trying to put them all in one. I think you can do that. But that's what that was. It was asking me to put my Periscope ID into this one.
Into that. So we can all hook everything up all at once. Okay.
Yes. It would have been the same thing.
Which Two Bros podcast is this?
This is, wow, what are we? Episode 48?
Doc?
Episode 48, party people.
First one of
2019.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year. That's why we are celebrating. Chink.
Ooh, that was chinkling. What was that? Was that you?
It did a
little bloop.
Yeah, it did a little toilet bowl drop. So, how is your New Year starting off, young man?
My New Year's is starting off pretty darn good.
I see you shaved all your facial hairs.
Shaved the facial hair. Figured I'd make it a clean start.
You actually
start
look like
fresh.
Your son.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. It's like Miles drinking coffee. No, that's Miles' dad.
That little boy's getting big. He's getting big. He's doing all the moving and whatnot. No, but 2019 started off nice, man. Started off nice. What'd you do for New Year's? New
Year's, we kind of just chilled. We go to church. We go to midnight service every year. My church is searching for a new pastor.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good news or bad news? Or just...
Well, no, he's retired. I mean, our pastor's retired. He's been our pastor for 25 years. Very smart guy, very intellectual, Dr. Henry T. Simmons. A lot of respect for this guy. He's been such an inspiration as far as a spiritual guider, and he's one of those that really puts the perspective on religion to reality to give you today's form. He doesn't just preach a text from a book.
Right.
He teaches very much how it relates to you now. Like what, if you read a fortune cookie, if you read a Zodiac, or if you read anything, it could appeal to you today if you said, yeah, it is kind of, I am going to win something. Yeah. I am rich in something. Maybe get extra butter, or maybe something happens to you. I don't know. You get extra cheese and you only pay for regular cheese.
Whoa, I asked for a cheeseburger. They give me a double cheeseburger.
Right.
I'm winning.
So that is a possibility that, and he just very much reflects a lot of those things. And one thing he said to me, which was back when I was coaching during the CYO days and stuff, he said something very interesting. And he says, Oren, he says, if you're doing the work, you don't need to be here. I apologize for not being in service. And I was like, hey, I'm coaching, games are on Saturdays and Sundays. And, so he said something very clear. He says, if you're out doing the work, then you should be doing, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
That's the job. This is a place to charge your battery and to get well. This is a hospital. This is a place where you heal. This is a place that you learn something, you understand, get an understanding, and then go do.
Right.
Not just, I can't wait to see what he says next week.
Right.
You have to do the work.
Right.
You have to go out and be a steward and help someone or kind of reveal something to someone else. And maybe, maybe something comes out of it or maybe nothing comes out of it. Maybe you just feel better about yourself. And from that moment on, I kind of was, I dug it. You know what I mean? I got it. And I said, all right, this is cool. I really respect how he respects, it's not just give me the money, give me the money, give me the money.
Right.
And then, of course, when my wife's sister passed away, which was very untimely at the age of 33, they kind of said, "Hey, you're grieving. You gotta relax. Come talk. Let's have a meeting." And we'll walk you through the process of what needs to happen. We're your church. We're here. This is what we're for.
This is what we're for, right? And
so they took care of the service, the body, they don't pick your casket and do all that stuff, but they at least coach you along the way of how to grieve in a manner that's order in manageable. You know what I'm saying?
Because you have to, one of the things we forget, I think we discovered this when mom passed away, just like there's so much stuff that has to get taken care of. That you almost have to like put your grieving on hold for a second.
You literally do.
Or somebody has to be, maybe this is a bad word to put it, but somebody has to be the stud that takes care of stuff. Maybe you could be one of the guys I follow. His name is Dr. Jordan Peterson. He says, you know what? Maybe a goal could be maybe you could be the strong one at a funeral. Maybe you could be the person that people can rely on, so that sort of like allow them to grieve. But you can be the strong. You can be the strong one, and maybe and it seems like your pastor kind of like fronted that. Said, look, this is how you can do this.
Yeah. Well, he definitely reinforced it and definitely gave it some merit, which then kind of allowed to say, okay, this is normal. Now let me do what I have to do. Let me try to, figure out how to make it work and etc. So, some people have a reserved feeling about the church. I will tell you that if your church feels stuffy, then you're at the wrong church. I mean, if you don't feel free, if you can't come in jeans, like you think you have to wear a suit, like, and you have to get dressed up, come as you are. And the best thing you could do is be yourself.
Right. Choice is like come in jeans or not come at all. Well, come in jeans.
Come in jeans. Yeah, come comfortable.
Come in jeans. Come after work. Come after you're right. So
to spin off of what you said, yes, we did midnight watch service. And the midnight watch service, for a lot of people get confused over, is why is it a midnight watch service? And the midnight watch service is specifically for the hour of the Emancipation Proclamation. So that when the clock turned midnight, the slaves were free. They were waiting. They knew that tomorrow in 1866 or whatever that date was, it could be. I'm probably not doing the right date, but when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, the new year of, I want to say it was 1866, but I'm probably wrong. So guys, don't fault me, but look it up. That all the slaves were in their quarters up all night, like waiting to the clock turned midnight. And they sat and they waited, and then they sang songs. They celebrated like we're going to be free. We have all this anxiety of freedom. And literally when the clock turned, they didn't feel any different.
Right.
They rejoiced most of they rejoiced in the ambience of it, but there were no fireworks for them.
Yeah.
There was no welcome. There was no parade. There was no woo. We're out. It's oh shit. Are we really free? Like, can I
walk out?
Can I walk outside and you guys can't fucking do? So this is kind of like what everyone's anticipating for, like the when they sign over illegal marijuana or something.
Oh yeah,
it's like, can I smoke a joint? Ooh, I wonder if I'll get busted. Yeah, but that kind of thing is kind of what people are always anticipating. So that is the midnight watch service. We did that, and then we went over to some family friends and some folks. Actually, the Rodens' house, which is
okay. Yeah, you were saying you were going to do that.
Yeah, the kid that plays on Seton Hall, which they have a game coming up very shortly, 1:00. They play DePaul.
Okay.
They are traveling in Chicago.
Chicago.
Who Lorenz Tate says, arguably, hands down, their pizza beats ours.
What?
I didn't say it. He said it.
Lorenz Tate.
I don't know. Not that he's an authority, but
no, he's not.
He said it beats our pizza.
Based on what?
Just said hands down is based on him. That's it.
Fuck Lorenz Tate.
Fuck Lorenz Tate. I like his brother more. The LeVar guy. What's the other one?
I don't know his brother.
He's got a couple. They don't age. First of all,
they all look the same.
Guys, they look the same. He was in Don't Be a Menace. The brother was in Don't Be a Menace. And he's like, which was funny because he was in Menace to Society. His
right.
brother in Don't Be a Menace or whatever, while drinking your juice in South Central. And the guy says, "Dad, I'm Kanika's pregnant," and motherfucker stood up like, he said, "Oh, I think I'm the father." He said, "Woo, damn, bro, I thought it was me." That shit was funny, man. I love those parody movies. They're pretty funny.
They are funny. They're hilarious. You know what was not funny?
No.
I watched Bird Box. Yeah, I have no idea why you watched that shit twice. I'm watching it, and I'm like, what the I did not like it.
Yep.
Did I just like fought it the whole way? My wife checked out like after 10 minutes. She was like, "Okay, but whatever."
Right?
Is Impractical Jokers on? And I didn't even get through the whole thing.
So you didn't get to the end?
I didn't get through the whole thing. No, I didn't get through the whole.
Well,
thing.
I spoiled it for you, but
right. I knew it was. I knew what was happening, and I knew what was going to happen.
I'm sorry.
It was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I talked to my wife and said, "Hey, my brother saw it. He said he liked it. It was pretty good. Let's check it out." So we were watching.
Well, you weren't sad that you weren't sad that you didn't see it, and you weren't mad that you cut it off. So you were kind of even keel when you turned it off. You felt nothing. You felt like you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I was like, I just what I didn't like about it was that everything was, in my opinion, and I tend to be a snob when it comes to movies and stuff. Everything was like an expression of an ideology, as opposed to letting people be people. Like the authenticism of it, I guess, was kind of lost on me.
Okay. Okay.
So and plus that it's one of those things where it's been a done premise already.
That's what I said last podcast, is that we've seen this show before.
This premise, and recently that movie, what was that movie where they didn't
the Quiet Place,
right? You Quiet Place or Shut Up in the Dark or something or whatever the name of that. I wanted to see it, but I didn't go see it. People who have seen saw it, said it was pretty good, but that premise has already been there.
Yeah,
like something is out there.
It's happened 100 times over and over. And I don't know. We keep getting excited about it for whatever reason.
The fog, like you mentioned, the fog and stuff like that. So whatever. I just don't understand the like you said, like how did this become like? Why is everybody talking about this shit?
Only thing that was the only comment I had about it, that I was just advising that's what I was saying, is like, I don't understand where this phenomenon came from. Like, who made this so crazy? Like, why was it such an important thing? It seems better when let's see if we push this up a little bit.
Say that. Ooh.
Yeah, ooh. No, but I didn't get how it became such a web phenomenon, or whatever it was. I mean, whatever people were saying it was.
And now Netflix will look at this and will say this is successful because X amount of people watched it, X amount of homes watched it, regardless of
Right.
How good it was, or did this thing even make sense, or whatever. All they know is X amount of homes check this thing out.
The Nielsen ratings.
And so it made X amount of dollars. And it was, it was worth it.
It's really super bullshit. I mean, I will say that, we're seeing that a lot now that, like, for instance,
Clicks.
again, clickbait, right? That's what we call it.
Clicks.
So I watched, I watched a lot. I watched a lot of fucking, I watched a lot this week.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know why. First of all, I went back and watched and did the Brave New World because we talked about it in the last show, and I had seen it years ago and hadn't seen it as an adult. So I love doing that, like watching things over. My daughter said to me, "Dad, why are you watching this? You always said you saw this before." And I said, "It's like Catcher in the Rye. I want to see it at a different time.
Right.
I want to see it at a different time."
Right.
And I Spark Noted. You know what Spark Notes are?
Yes.
So they have a YouTube channel.
Oh, do they really?
It's fucking insane. I did 12 novels in an hour. Spark Noted 12 hours. Gosh, where was this when you teaching and schooling and
when
stuff
you're doing
like that?
papers and stuff like that? Yeah, that's
now it is a cheat, and you're right. It's reading is fundamental, and you never can replace the book value.
Right.
You're a book guy. You're a big reading guy.
Right, because you have to interpret it on your own. You have to interpret it yourself with those things.
And I'm a audio visual guy, and I kind of just like hear, even though the dweeb who read it, and they tell you who the guy's name read by David. He's a social economics major, and so who gives a fuck? It's all about, can he eloquently say the words? And I did. I went from Othello to Hamlet to Catcher in the Rye, Of Mice and Men. This one, Brave New World. Like 12 high-end.
I'm curious about what else you read, because I read all those.
1984.
1984, okay.
Scarlet Letter.
Red Scarlet Letter, yes.
All these books that I refreshed myself on the story and go, oh shit, I forgot how perceptive. But again, at the expense of listening to it and watching, because they show still photos. It's not a cartoon.
Okay.
It's just picture book. Like it's kind of like hearing somebody read the book to you. I will say that at the expense of having someone else read it, only because I observed it myself and said, I'm not getting the value that I could get. I'm cheaping myself.
Does it give you what the interpretation is? Or does it just read? Or is it just reading the book? Or is it just?
Oh, it's him
just reading the book.
Yeah, but he's got.
He's giving his. This means this.
No,
this is,
no.
Okay.
Oh, he does. He does comment somewhat. He says this would imply that he thought that so and so, but who knows? Maybe in today's standard, he does do a little bit of that. And each episode is read by a different scholar.
Okay.
Or a different student, maybe they're kids. I don't know. And I didn't do that much research on them, but it's interesting. But what I'm saying is that you lose the ability, you lose the interpretation of your own fascination, your own magical way of putting it in your head, and that's what the book experience is all about. That's what I guess reading does that for most people, and that's why people find reading fascinating.
I think I'm actually gonna like break down and get a subscription to like Audible or something like that.
Yeah, so
I can actually like listen to books as opposed to reading. Because one of the goals that I made for myself this year is I was going to read a bunch more, and I said to myself, you know what, I think I can get through 50 books this year.
50.
I'm already in 2.
Wow.
I'm already down 2. I'm kind of cheating because one I started like at the end of December, but I read Brave New World again. And
I don't know how you do it. I don't know.
The train.
Yeah, but
the train. If I can get 50 pages in a day, I can be done with a book in a week.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's pretty marvelous. I mean, I 3 pages, and I could have just woke up. Like I had a nice 5-6 hour sleep. I start reading, and all of a sudden, I'm just a narcolepsy. I
started doing it on because that's you see people on the train do it,
yeah,
and you see people doing it when they're standing up.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that I couldn't do it, but I've said, okay, well, I've decided I'm going to try this, so let me try this and whatnot. And once you get into it, once you get into a rhythm, plus being on the train, you kind of like,
well, you need something out.
You kind of like know where like your stop is, and you kind of like know if something's like not working the way it's supposed to be. Hey, wait a minute, we're not supposed to be here and stuff like that. So you kind of like stick your head up and shit like that. But no, it's been a little bit easier, and so I think I can do that. But I also think that there's a different thing that happens when you, like you said, like when you listen to it. Yeah. As opposed to just simply reading it. You can probably, I don't know, depending on how you are. You said you're more audio visual. So, maybe if you like stuck a book on a headset and listened, maybe you'd ingest more as opposed to attempting to read it.
I find that, and you're absolutely right. I find that reading through like the Google Voice or the computer voice is better than hearing someone's
that neutral voice.
Yeah. It's robotic. So the point then I know it's just reading and it's just language and it's not an inference.
It's not a
It's not a It's not a.
He went up the hill twice. To let you know that that's important.
Right, because that's the old perspective of looking at it. If Sally, remember I always say that if Sally went up the hill and bought two, well, who the fuck is Sally? Like, and why is she going up a hill?
And why do I care about what Sally's doing?
That always takes away from the exercise, and I feel that those, and again, it's personal. I feel that those little voices or whatever else, they take it away from me. They give it too much character, and I'm like, who is this guy? Like,
right.
And I'm distracted by it.
Okay.
But when I hear and then she went to the bar and said, ha ha, and it's so neutral that I go, huh, and I listen to it with no regard. Like I have no inhibitions.
Right. You just ingested information.
Nothing stopping me from liking or listening to the words, and it's just words. It's verbatim. Like kind of like a text, right? It's
right.
Hey, get me some milk. What do you mean by that?
Well, yeah, it's like
I mean, get me some fucking milk.
I hate when people suggest emotion in text. Like people text you something, and then you write back, and then the response back is, "Well, you don't seem too concerned." I'm like, wait a minute, you just said I'll be home at 7:30.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like anything.
Does that mean? Oh my God, no!
Doesn't seem like anything.
What is that? Like to be suggestive in a text.
I know it's crazy.
And some people write texts like they're like they're having a conversation with you. Like really? I really wish we would all just agree that look, this is nothing more than just passing on quick information, so that we're all kept up to speed as to what's going on.
There's no innuendo with
your emotion about something and stuff like that. It gets lost in a text, and I'm supposed to like invest now in this emotion you gave in this freaking 7,500 character text. When the only thing you're basically saying is, hey, the appointment went okay.
Right, everything went okay, or how's it going, or what you doing, or whatever else.
Right.
I mean, those men, again, from what I know and my own experiences, men suffer the most when it comes to communicating without
any type of emotion or any type of subtext.
Like we really don't give a shit. We will say the words. We speak very bluntly. I speak very bluntly and very to the point. I'll give you a perfect example. A coworker from my LA office, he's like, dude, I know I sound like I come off kind of weird and this and that, but I'm not being an asshole. He gave all this explanation.
In a text?
And in an email. It was an email about a project and back and forth. And I said, dude, we're from New York. We don't do that. Like, you could have said nothing, and I didn't. I said, where did you get that? I felt like, how did you feel?
Right? How did you
from these words? And then I asked,
you felt all that?
And I asked and don't take this the wrong way, but I said to the other guys, I was like, is he gay?
No.
Because you have to have that type of intimacy in you. Like you have to believe that it means something more. You have to have.
Well, you felt judged, or he felt judged. He felt judged by his particular response or particular activity. He's the one who said it. I didn't even say it. He commented on his own comment and then responded with a follow-up email. Sorry to come off rude, but I just trying to get the information. Whatever else. And I said, okay, I gave
In, out,
Right.
in, out.
You got it. So
You gave 2 ins.
That's it.
And now
Yeah.
I gave. Oh, you want me to respond again?
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. And I find that the best response is no response,
Sometimes, yeah.
or the just a simple okay.
Yeah. K. That's my
K.
favorite. It's my favorite response.
Okay.
K.
And it's like,
What do you mean?
See, that's what happens. It's like, did he mean K or like K with an exclamation?
I get me and my wife, we get into every once in a while we get into an argument, and that's one of the things that I say a lot. I said, do you realize what I'm saying when I say okay
Right.
or yes? It means I heard what you said,
Right.
and I
100%.
am acknowledging what you said.
Right.
And there's no subtext involved
Right.
in it.
Right. Nothing.
It's like I heard you. I heard you. I understand. Okay. You know,
And there was nothing.
there's nothing.
rooted in it. There
Right.
was no. I just find that very weird that people often want to just make it something more than it is, and it's never in just the words. Again, maybe that's just not enough. Maybe just the words aren't enough. Maybe just being
Sometimes,
simple.
maybe sometimes.
Maybe simple is not enough.
And sometimes a text is not. Sometimes the text is not where you should be having this particular conversation.
Okay.
You know, sometimes this is something that needs to have a little bit more detail, and you shouldn't try to do it through a text, because I think one of the things we try to do is we try to avoid human contact. We try to avoid having to talk to somebody to explain something, because then I expose myself.
Yeah.
So if I'm upset at something you did, and me just trying to say it in a text, then all of a sudden, for some reason, I feel absolved at sending you this text.
Huh.
And then your response to that is sort of like validating what I said. You know, so if your response is like, okay, I'm like, well, fuck, I just poured my heart out in this damn text. And all this fucking right.
Sockman says eye contact. What are you saying? What are you saying, Sockman? You saying you need more eye contact?
I agree. I think you need to look somebody. There are times when you need to like look somebody in the eye and have a discussion with somebody.
Yeah, I agree
about something.
I agree.
You
But
know?
there's a huge disconnect between that. Like, are you hiding behind the text because you can get things done?
I think we are. I think we hide behind text. I think we hide behind Instagram posts. I think we hide behind tweets. I think we do a lot of virtue signaling and sort of like, well, I'm going to tweet this out, and that means I'm a great human being. I'm smart, and I'll challenge somebody, and I'll say some shit that I would never say to that person to their face. I'd never engage with that person in dialogue, because that means that I have a chance for that to be rebutted and for me to be wrong.
Okay,
so when I do this, I'm always right. When I do this, I'm always right.
The thumb thuggers.
That's right. I'm always right. I'm never wrong when I send out a tweet.
Okay, I hear that.
You know?
That's understandable, because that leads itself for no like. I mean, it's kind of what our president does, right? It's na boo.
Oh yeah.
My mic is louder than yours. Shut up. Shut up.
That's what he pretty much
You
does.
just shut up. You sound funny. You're horrible at this.
That's pretty much what he does.
I mean, did you like? Oh, again, watching Michael Moore's 11/9, he just dismantled the own Republican Party. Like Jeb Bush was like, please, can you guys clap? Like, I just spent all this time explaining you why. He's like, please clap. You know what I'm saying? And it's like low energy. You get low energy.
He did, yeah. He basically just said, yeah, none of you guys know what you're doing.
You guys are all low energy.
None of you guys know what you're doing. And if you notice, after that campaign, Jeb put that little exclamation point after his Jeb!
Trying to toughen up.
Like, I'm full of excitement.
I'm wearing jeans. Look at fucking jeans. I'm wearing. That's the highlight of your excitement.
I can listen to urban music.
Now, snacks are great. You mentioned Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson, who's become quite a phenomenon.
He's been made a millionaire.
Right.
Basically off of like standing up for something that he believed in, and then people deciding to challenge him.
Right.
And then every time they challenge him, he rebuffs them with stuff that is almost irrefutable.
Right.
So it kind of like exposes you for the fallacies you have in your ideology. And the guy's become a millionaire off of it. He's become a his book is he's got X amount of millions of tweets, and he was a huge Patreon dude. Him and Dave Rubin decided to get off of Patreon.
They left in January. They left at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
They got off Patreon, as are others.
As our other people are, right?
Following
them, Sam Harris, and
So this again, we talk about these guys in the dark web that have this intellectual group. Like Shapiro and a lot of these guys who we like to follow and watch them and hear their ideologies. And it's funny because they become almost the superstar Billy Grahams of our time. They become the Billy, the pastors, so to speak. Okay. Not for the religious part of it, but because now life is what we call religion, right? It's real, your real life.
Religion. Okay, I see.
Religion. It's a whole new genre. It's starting to gain popularity or whatever. I didn't make it up. I mean, I said it one time, but anyway, what's happening is that people are starting to find and follow scholars that have some accreditation. That offer ideologies. With Jordan Peterson, for me, he gets very caught up to me in this. The world is suffering. Like this suffering thing is always like, it's such a hard time to, men have a hard time. He really makes it like it's anguish, like it's like his teeth are gritting for people to have regular conversations and stuff. And he talks about a lot of this mental anguish and anxiety that comes from another one.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah. It's just that for me, it doesn't. While I watch it, it drives me nuts to see that people just. So you say people are suffering, but then I dial back and I say, well, it's no different than a pastor being on stage telling his, people like, listen, this is what you're going through. This is what you're feeling. This is what you're understanding. So you mentioned that he does something for what he stands for. What do you think he stands for? What do you think his stand for is?
What he does is he wants to make sure that whatever your position is, that there is some justification for it, and you can't just blurt out something just because it's a popular thing to say. There has to be some form of
consequence.
Well, no, not consequence, but there has to be some form of justification or responsibility. Okay. I think that's his biggest thing is responsibility. And when he talks about suffering, I think what he's trying to say is that look, this shit is hard,
right?
So the sooner you can understand that it's hard, then I think things will start and accept that it's hard and accept certain responsibilities that come with that.
Right.
Then things will start moving for you, and then you can notice something that's pretty. Don't just shoot for happiness.
Right.
If you just shoot for something that makes you happy and something that makes you feel good, well, you're going to hit a tremendous amount of stumbling blocks.
Okay.
And you're not going to know what to do. But if you do it the other way around and acknowledge that, hey, you're going to hit these stumbling blocks, can you be prepared for these stumbling blocks?
Right.
And if you can be prepared for them and navigate through them, guess what? You're going to find something great at the end of that, or on the way to that. There's no and there are things that you can do to help navigate that. One of the things that he says is don't in his book 12 Rules for Life, he says, stand up, basically stand up straight.
Yeah.
And don't you don't have to, there's no need for you to cower to anything. Stand up straight and make your position felt. And that's how you are going to get things done. And you always do it through the truth. You don't do it by lying or hiding the truth.
Messy.
You always do it by
messy,
the truth. The truth can get ugly. It can be difficult, but at least you will get to the point of where everybody is on equal footing and knows how and knows where things are.
So
that's part of it.
Thank you.
Probably,
thank you for that.
Probably very uneloquently said, but
no, thank you, because I struggle with his point. I struggle with, and what I look at, and again differently, I look at it from a perspective of why is everyone so fascinated with him? What's so okay? Doesn't he just eats meat? He's a carnivore or whatever. He's got But what's so fascinating about him? And what is he pisses a lot of people off for no reason. Like he's not an authority on anything. He's Canadian.
To me, it's amazing how people misinterpret
Right.
what he says.
Correct.
And I don't know if that's is that just like a willingness to do that, or are you just not hearing
I think it's on purpose.
what he said?
I think it's this isn't
Like to make him a villain.
yes.
So he has to be a villain.
But I think again, just opinionated. It sells him better being a villain.
Right.
Like, it sells him
Right.
and he then has to prove himself all the way back, and it's yay, I like
Exactly.
the guy.
And he does it
Does it every
brilliantly.
time.
And what you've done is you've given the guy another 15,000 hits and
Right.
and another check.
But that's what I mean. Like that's what bugs me out
Mhm.
about his platform. Like how he always is speaking from a vantage point of you don't understand me.
Right.
I said this. No, I didn't. Let me tell you how.
Right.
And every one of his dialogues I've watched over and over always have the same undertone. They all have the same setup.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
mistake me. Let me explain to you how. And then he gets to invoke a little bit more extra of what you may have missed also. If you didn't catch that, let me tell you more about this.
He seems to know his opponent's argument more than they understand his argument.
Yes.
That's one of the things. John Stuart Mill basically said, if you don't understand both sides of the argument, then you really have no position. We're gonna die.
It's junk. I like the debate with Michael Eric Dyson. Saw that one?
Yes,
with him?
I did.
Jordan Peterson. And who was the other guy? It was another guy in an old white
Jordan
suit.
Peterson,
Looked like,
Michael Eric Dyson. It was a British guy.
It was
Nigel. No, not Nigel Farage. I can't remember his name.
I don't remember the guy's name, but that one was a really good debate of, and I was a little disappointed in Michael Eric Dyson for bringing race into the fact. You're an angry white man, he told him, and he says, why can't I just be an angry man?
Right.
Why can't I just be angry that society isn't going well for us all and we're all fucked? And, he didn't say that. But,
right. But then if you flip it, if you called him an angry black man, then what would you say about that? And then you'd call him a racist.
That was my exact point. Michael Eric Dyson, who I respect.
Yeah.
He's very not,
He's brilliant.
He's brilliant. But there's something to be said. Like if you went, he would have been that much more brilliant not doing that.
Right.
Now he just became categorized into the, you're one of those.
Right, exactly.
Philosophizers.
You're one of those race baiters.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there was no merit in bringing the race into it. It wasn't even about that. It was about empathy. It was about, being conscious and being, a little bit more, enthusiastic about life and all of its offerings, and he just race baited it to you don't know what it's like growing up in the ghetto. I guess a lot of people don't.
Right, a lot of people don't. And
people in the ghetto don't know what it's like growing up in the ghetto.
And one of the things he also pointed out is he said, "Well, you don't know my background. Right. You don't know me, so you don't know how I grew up. Right. You just assumed that now that you see me at 50 plus years old and I got 1 million followers and I've sold a couple books, you just assume that my whole life has been, I've been pissing gold flakes,
right?
For all my life.
Yeah, horrible.
And another thing that he does is, which I think a lot of people like the Ben Shapiro's and he do, who I guess you could say politically are on the right.
He do?
Ben Shapiro and...
You said he do.
And he does.
Excuse me.
Sorry. My lack of grammar.
I didn't know what you meant.
It seems that the guys who you would classify on the right call out the right when the right does something stupid. So everybody on the right kind of called out Charlottesville.
Right. Yeah.
When Charlottesville went too far, when certain groups go a little too far, they seem to be up in front and saying, hey, look, that's not what we're about. We're not about this crap. Mm-hmm. It seems like those who stay politically on the left don't call out shit when shit goes wrong. And don't say, hey, Antifa, you really shouldn't be, in the middle of the street.
People.
You shouldn't be chasing people. You shouldn't be What is that shit they did in, I think they did it in Manhattan. Was it in Manhattan where they were, or maybe it was another big city.
And one of them
where they were stopping people in the middle of the street. Like they were having a protest and they were stopping people in the middle of the street. And I was like, Dude, I'm driving. Can you get out of the fucking way? And then all of a sudden it became like a violent attack on somebody.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, get out of my fucking way. Oh, you don't want us to No, I want you out of my fucking way.
I want you out of my way.
I gotta go to work. You know, that is the horrible upside of the freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I posted this yesterday, it was freedom ain't free.
No, you're exactly right. It costs.
And it costs. It has a cost, and it's a matter of how much are you willing to pay. Mm-hmm. Make no mistake, you will pay. You will pay for some of it. Whether you're not participating or not participating is still a payment. Right. It's just in another direction. It's like negative equity, right? Mm-hmm. So most people don't... you know, this is where you get the intellectuals versus the regular person just thinking of goofy shit and say, what are you guys talking about? Like, what right. And then this is just this ideology that makes people, and because someone has a degree in something makes them more qualified, you tend to believe them more. Yeah,
not necessarily, but yeah.
But you tend to just...
You give it to them. It's like, okay, I get...
Right. You know, he went to college. Mm-hmm. You know, what the fuck does that mean? I mean, you subscribe to whatever. Mm-hmm. Or, I'm a member of the, top purchasing agents in 100. Does that make me more, Yeah, I got, plaques and all this other shit. But I just really, I'm really looking at people from a different perspective and really trying to understand why this. Well, I guess because it's so nerved. Everybody's wears their nerves on their sleeve on their page, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the internet has to be the one that's responsible for showing everyone's colors, showing people their face, showing people, whether it's racism or skepticism or whatever ism. It's really showing the prism is showing the ism. Oh, that's kind of...
Ooh, the prism is showing the ism. That's it. Can you put it on a hockey jersey?
Yeah.
The prism is the ism.
Yes. No, but because that is the prism, all the colors, all the light, all the filtration of it is all isms. They're all isms. They're just so many fucking isms that are just driving people nuts, categorizing and boxing things and putting them away for no apparent reason. Like where are we putting this shit? Yeah. Where are these categories, these boxes, these little where do they go? When like moving. All this shit you accumulate.
You got all this shit. Like, where is it? Where is it going?
I don't need any of it.
Because at the end of the day, you got to... Look, I think the overwhelming majority of people really don't get involved in a lot of this shit. Yeah. They just,
they watch.
I'll watch a little bit, but you know what? I got to go to work. I got to pay the bills. Yeah. I got to make sure my kids are okay. I want to make sure that my family's doing good. Have a little something for myself. Sure. Left over, Sure. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't feel that's being talked about. Everybody's speaking like from an intellectual point of view about this and that and stuff, and we tend to leave out an over. I mean, that's how you get Donald Trump. Yeah. You get Donald Trump because the average person feels that nobody gives a shit about me. Yeah. So fuck it. I'll vote for Donald Trump. People don't realize that like 30% of people who voted for Trump voted for Obama. Right. In the previous election. So how do you make that jump? How do you make that jump? Because if you vote, because now there are people who say that, well, if you support Trump, that makes you a racist and you're a misogynist. Oh, really? Well, I voted for Obama in the last time. So so I was cool then, but now I'm a racist and a misogynist. Huh.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I watched the Ellen DeGeneres stand-up on Netflix.
She has a new stand-up?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's awesome.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I mean, I don't know why I can't believe how much I liked it. Okay. And I don't know if I liked it more because of she just kind of did everything we just said. She unearthed everything, took it to the front, put it right on the top, and she made it very, as the word, poignant, like very poignant view to say, don't you think all of us rich people have the gold toilets and all this stuff? And she kind of like makes fun of it, but in a way that says, come on, don't you think that of me? And she talks about walking from here, takes her half an hour to get to the living room, but she's doing it in a way that's, now if you watched it and didn't know the candor, like
Right.
the undertone of it, you would think she's just like, wow, this bitch is just fucking saying she's got all this rich shit, and you missed it. You missed the entire exercise.
Right. Yeah.
She was really trying to show you the value of that is none.
If you're placing value on that, then
if that's
right.
where your value is, you will not get the joke.
Daniel Tosh does the same thing.
He always
does the same thing.
It's like, if that's what you heard, you won't get the joke.
Right. He's like, no, I don't go there. I'm rich. I don't do that.
Jay-Z does it a lot too. Believe it.
Yes, he does.
Jay-Z does it. He's mastered that style, and that's got to be something, because he said something one day. I think Charlemagne had interviewed him, and he says, "Do you really have Obama's on the text?" And he said, "That's what you heard." I said it. Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's a joke. It's a word. It's a lyric. I'm telling you, that's how important I am. I can text the president.
Right.
But a man of his stature, it's like, wait, do you have his text? Can you text Obama? Like, and tell him, yo, don't wear that today. Like, but he's trying to explain to people, like, if that's what you heard, you missed all the other shit I just said. I said a bunch of raps and lyrical skill that
right, and you took it out of the context. All of a sudden, it means something very literal,
right?
Which is not the same. Did you
100%.
hear? Did you hear Louis' bit?
No.
Did you hear Louis C.K.'s bit? He did his
the thing that got him in trouble. I heard
what, the thing about the
shooting.
The shooting.
Yeah,
kid?
That's the only part I heard.
That was you got to listen. I
know it's out of context, and I don't want to comment on it. But tell me.
No, first of all, it was hilarious.
The comeback. This is
first of all, it was hilarious. He did it at Governor's out in Levittown.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I don't think
waiting for this.
I don't think he sold. I think he did one in Governor's, and I think he did one at the Cellar. But it's the number one. I love Louis C.K.
Yeah,
and so I just want him to get back in the game. He gets a little, and he's gotten this way a little. What's the word I'm looking for? Like maybe a little too blue.
Yeah,
you know what I mean about blue comic, like a guy that like he's always talking about anal sex and stuff like that. He gets a little bit that way,
you know.
But it was brilliant, and just like you said, when he made that comment. He first of all, he didn't say that specifically.
Right.
The comment he made was essentially, 7,500 people die every day.
Right.
Why am I giving emphasis to these X amount of people who died in this one particular incident?
Oh, okay.
Horrible thing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make you more. That doesn't make you more. I shouldn't have more sympathy for you. Because you went through that, than somebody else. Why are you so special?
Well, yeah, I mean,
and that was basically the crux of his joke. Why are you so fucking special? And then people were ratting off about, because
you pushed the fat kid out of the way. You pushed some fat kid, and he got shot, and you got to tell the story, and I got to listen to you. That was fucking hilarious. Now, and for the people that are. Again, we talk sensitivity all the time. For the people that are Louis, like, where are my rights to hear raunchy shit?
Right, right. If I want,
right, I want it. I paid for it.
Right.
I asked for this. Where is my freedom to hear raunchy shit?
Right, exactly.
I'm an adult.
Right.
I paid for the service, and I want raunchy shit.
Right.
That's no different than porn.
Right.
And porn does not have nearly the scrutiny. Porn is just super accepted, because it has its own category.
Right.
It's XXX material. So does the ratings need to come out again and be, okay, well, this is X-rated, and which is perverted. I mean, listen, R is not enough anymore.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we're that sensitive, what happened to this fucking rating group? This group of people that rated shit.
What are you looking at? Right, exactly.
They stamped everything, and then this fucking NC-17 came out.
Right.
That was the last thing that they've done. That's over 30 years ago. You believe that?
That's gone away. When's the last time you see something NC-17?
And if you gave a shit, did you take your kids and go, oh, my wife, I think, is the only person on the planet to be like, you can't go see this. It's not. When my daughter was like 13 or whatever, she's like, it's not appropriate. It's like, she believed the rating. Like, she believed, oh, you can't say it. They said you can't see it. Who's this group?
Right.
This censoring group that was, and how did everyone else become the stamper of ratings we haven't heard from them. That's
Right.
that's what I mean. This group of people that went around stamping fucking records and albums
Right.
and movies and all our media, where'd they go?
Where'd you go?
Where'd
Right.
they go?
Right.
They disappeared because they were somewhat the authority of, hey, this isn't appropriate for kids, or hey, this video game is violent. Hey, this has this and that. I mean, maybe they're still there and we just ignored them because we see it all the time.
Or maybe we just accepted it to the point and realized that on some level it really doesn't matter. That on some level it doesn't hold to anything.
It's true.
Because there are inconsistencies.
Well, I guess people have said, "Who the fuck are you?"
Right.
And I'll decide what my kids should see if this. Okay. Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
I mean, that's what happens with video games. That's what happens with what if you are a big fan of professional wrestling or whatever. I remember this interview with Vince McMahon, who he talks. Somebody tried to get him on. You got a bunch of kids coming to your shows and stuff like that, and he says, well, each kid comes with a parent. I mean, there aren't. I mean, he made a joke. He said, "Yes, the place was the event was in Philadelphia." He said, "Yes, this is Philadelphia," and so maybe there are groups of 9 and 10-year-old kids getting in a cab and going to a show by themselves. Maybe that's the case.
Maybe,
but I'm going to go under the assumption that every underage kid is there with an adult, who has said it's okay for you to go see this. So who am I to tell that adult your kid should not see this? Now I can make that judgment for my kid. And you should make that judgment for your kid.
Absolutely.
But you should not make that judgment for my kid.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right.
I can do that for mine. I can say to my kid, okay, you're not going to this. I don't think it's appropriate. You can't go. But I can't tell your kid, hey, you don't let your kid go see that. You can say, hey, fuck you. I'll make my decision up for my people.
But but
what you said was right. If I want to see raunchy shit, I should see raunchy shit.
Right. This begs the question again on censorship and all of the rhetoric surrounding it that is just it's just wrong. Like we've put no emphasis on family values and saying, hey, that this is for your family to discuss. You guys should talk about this at home,
right? And
figure out if this is something you like or not. And you should determine to not watch Louis C.K. and don't, if you see him on the channel, switch to it. And you should be the ones writing to your network and your cable provider saying, I'm sorry, I found this very offensive to my family and we didn't really like it and we're removing our subscription for it.
Right.
But this is your obligation,
not somebody else's. Right.
Feed me good stuff only. I just don't want, you want to sit still, no alligator arms. You don't want to touch the remote, but you want to be fed great material to your liking, right? So this makes people go, let's make it easy. Let's find out what they like. Let's ask them 100 quizzes and questions, and have them, hey Google, and fucking, do all that shit.
I don't understand.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. We got. But it goes back to what you, if you were listening to your Spark Notes on Brave New World,
yes,
in which they said, we just want you to do things to make you happy. That's it. And we'll be the arbitrators of what makes you happy.
By the way, that was Ron O'Neal who played that character in the movie. In the real movie, The Brave New World.
Ron O'Neal. Why is that name?
Superfly.
Oh!
He plays...
Who was he? John Savage?
No, John Savage is the kid is the love child.
Yes.
Right? The commander at the center.
Okay.
That's Ron O'Neal.
Oh.
Fucking Superfly. His hair slicked down.
Did he have his hair slicked down and stuff?
He was kind of he plays Indian, like a scientist or whatever.
Okay,
like technical scientist or whatever else, which is funny. But yeah, like you're 100% correct. Families have to do their job. Your moms and dads, you really, and the sharecropper story of my dad's not around is there's plenty of people in your household that are uncles that step in and moms that do double roles.
Right.
You're not going to get a fucking happy Father's Day from me because you're a mom.
Right.
It's bad enough we have these Hallmark holidays that, moms who want credit for being dads, you know what I'm saying?
You're not a dad. You're a
mom.
mom.
Your mom. It's just anatomically correct. Was that the right way? It's anatomy. It's a
Apparently, you don't have to be. So,
well, this is again
that's another shit. It's like that's more shit we're getting wrong. We just
all right. So if Hallmark comes out and says, "Hey, cut this shit out. We're fucking losing card sales here." Because now you make one fucking card. I hope your birthday is happy.
Yeah, pretty much. Just
Fuck
one
you,
card.
no gender, no
card.
wife, my husband. No.
Right.
Hallmark, you need to step your game up. The game is getting slipping past you, man.
That's right.
That's
Or they might come up with this card that like has all the options that you have available.
Check a box.
Happy Father's Day, happy cisgendered male day, happy just, and then you could just check it and then just give it to whoever it is.
But
having fun.
Yeah, they're watching the game. But I just thought of something and let me gather my
Bring
thoughts.
it back. Taking this.
This smells like this smells like the CD aisle or the record player aisle losing square feet in a store.
Yeah. Okay.
Hallmark, for instance. We just brought it. I just thought it was a joke. But now I'm thinking about it. Look at every fucking Rite Aid store that fucking, 3 aisles of fucking cards. It's like, wow. Now, it is a beautiful thing to write someone a card, give them a card. It still has human empathy. It's still attached. It's tethered to a thought.
A thought and emotion.
Right. And as canned of a response as it is, as Hallmark as it is, and even that's become a word.
You thought about somebody enough.
And I went into the store and stood there and looked, this fits you.
This one, that
this
one.
fortune cookie sounds like you.
Right.
There's something to be said for this age if we keep doing this and we keep losing square feet for the sake of impracticality. Like it just doesn't make sense anymore. I can send you a card on your phone. I can send you a digital thing, or I can type it in and you can get, or I can send you an email or whatever else. This smells the same way. This smells of the same recipe of destroying Blockbuster, no more, not needing it because of technology and advancement. So greeting cards can be the next chopping block.
Probably, but you would think that they would be the first ones to go because you can get like cards online and shit like that.
Well, we thought that about newspaper too. We thought that about daily newses and press and print.
Yeah,
and it seems to stick around because somebody wants it there. Somebody says
somebody wants it.
Hey, this has got to keep going. This is the way we do things. Well, I thought of this the other day, and again, I'm not trying to be futuristic and apocalyptic, but because of the holidays, we've seemed to amass a shitload of fucking garbage, just because we've had
trash,
event, and so much trash outside. And I'm like, damn, they didn't even take it all. It looked like they were like, oh, we got to come back. You're only allowed a couple of pieces or whatever else. And then I'm looking at all the shit that, like, water bottles, for instance, like this is, why do you have to have all this fucking bottled water, et cetera? And then I start looking at all the other shit, like, wait, we just throw away these fucking boxes of, detergent, these big fucking jugs of shit. Like, I almost think that there should be a system that has that, like refillable stuff. Stuff that you use often.
Stuff that you use often all
the time. Like detergent. I would love to go to a store with my jug, bring my big jug, pump my shit, and then
like
pump
gas.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like gas or like any other disposable good. I don't need the package.
Refillable. So it's all. So the store is all refillable. So you bring in your Gain detergent bottle. You fill it up. You sit up there. You weigh it. It costs X amount of dollars. An ounce or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You got to come up with the measurement or whatever else. But fuck you, Amazon. I'm going to the fucking. We're gonna have the refill store. You could buy beer. Well, this place here sells beer in a jug. You can bring your canter. You buy the 164 ounce, and you bring it. I just don't like the quality of the beer.
Right.
It fucking sucks.
Well, it's usually not the best
it's
stuff,
like a craft, something with a rust. But I like the idea.
There was a place in, I think it was in Cleveland.
What do they call it? A growler? Growler.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a place in Cleveland that had a drive-through that was like that. You could drive through a liquor store, hand them a jug, tell them you want blah, 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 blah. Right. They'll fill it up, and they'll hand it right back to you.
That's fucking awesome. Don't you fucking take this, Bezos. Fucking Jeff Bezos.
He's next. He's
Nice.
look. He's on the next. He's on the next thing. He's done. What is it? He's been up for what, 6 hours? He's already done like 1,000 things.
But again, this concept could ring bells. This concept could be something of as opposed to not being a necessity. Like it doesn't have to be like I said this before. These fuckers here should have a refund policy on the fucking boxes. On the Amazon, they should give you 5 cents if you leave it out, and some guy that comes and takes the box.
Yeah.
You know, and you
can recycle the box.
Take the fuck. How many fucking They made the fucking cardboard industry booming.
Yeah,
I'd like to be the guy who sells Amazon boxes.
That's right.
Fucking guy's making a fortune selling boxes,
and nobody knows who he is.
Nobody knows who he is. No credit, no fame,
or she is,
or she,
or it,
or it. Oh gosh,
or hermaphrodite,
or Hallmark. You fucked up. So you know, if this a strange new world we're living in that I think is unfolding in front of people's eyes, and a lot of people are just missing. You're missing a good show, as they say.
Well, we also have like the technology to sort of alleviate some of that stuff. I mean, there's actually, I think it's actually patented, this like biodegradable plastic.
Yeah,
which you know, if it's submerged, I think it's like if it's submerged in water for a certain amount of time, it'll start degrading. So
look at the fucking Tide Pods. The Tide, pod, you put them in the fucking thing, they disappear. I put them in my socks. So when I wash, I put them in the sock because I'm always afraid that the film will get gooey somewhere and go somewhere. So I put it in the sock just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm amazed every time. Where'd it go?
Where'd it go?
Fucking Tide Pods.
It's gone. Tide Pods. Don't eat them.
No, that fucking.
That's this. Listen, I think
just don't.
You're allowed to be stupid when you're young, but there's some things that just initially just start off as bad ideas.
It's just bad idea.
And that's just one of them. Like somebody did that and nobody said, hey, that's kind of a stupid fucking idea.
Yeah.
Don't eat detergent.
Yeah, and film it.
And right. And then wonder why shit goes wrong.
Oh, God.
Like it just that's the thing that trips me out. Like you do something stupid.
Right.
Like there's some people who do this
challenge.
The Bird Box challenge.
What? So what is this?
They basically just walk around blindfolded.
Oh fuck you! You can't do that.
You know, and they wonder why they're getting hit in traffic and shit like that.
Oh, that was
or
like
they're
the
stumbling.
trick shit
Right? Or they're stumbling over the steps and falling over, and now they got a fractured skull.
Oh my God! Bird Box.
Yeah. Why is that? Why can you not understand that that's a bad idea?
What's up, Teresa?
You know, Teresa. Hey.
We see you.
GC.
But
but that starts off as a bad idea. So now and now you want to say, and now you want to write some article. People are doing this. Yes. If you walk around blindfolded, there's a good chance you're gonna fucking hurt yourself. Why can't we just assume that?
Yes.
Why can't we just say, hey, this is a bad idea?
But I mean, there's so many. Like again, you learn through people's mistakes. There's so many things you could look at and go, "This is not going to go well."
Right, exactly. It starts off bad.
It's not going to go well. This is not going to work out well.
Yeah, like when you see when you leave the bar and you see the drunk dude trying to dart in traffic, you're like, "Yeah, this ain't going to end right." Exactly. God bless the dude if he makes it across the street.
Yeah, if he does. Man, what a way to start the year. So,
woohoo.
We talked about New Year's resolutions. You have none?
I feel like I'm trying to read more.
Okay, yeah, you said 50 books. You said 50 books is fucking amazing. I don't know anybody that's read 50 books in their life.
More weight,
Yeah, I've gained some weight.
It's the season.
Holiday
it's the season. You're at a bunch of parties. Everybody wants to buy you a steak.
Yeah. I had a whole steak week. I told you that week.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've had a ham upstairs from the party.
Whole ham?
Yeah, well,
nobody ate it.
Well, people ate some of it, but not enough of it. But I've been fucking
every once in a while just slicing it.
Well, no, it's actually pretty fucking good. And then I drizzle a little olive oil on it, put it in the oven, and then I put some maple syrup over it. I served it for breakfast.
Okay,
for the kids, for everybody. And it's like, wow, it's Canadian bacon. It's like great and nice, really fucking nice ham. I've never enjoyed ham so much. I'm sorry. For all my Muslim friends out there and people that don't indulge in pork, I'm sorry, man.
You know, you're missing out.
Listen, not for you, not for everyone.
Not for you. More for me.
Maybe transgender is your thing, or you don't like ham.
Don't like transgendered pork.
I don't know. Speaking of some weird and crazy concoctions, I am watching, and I've been watching so much shit. I've been not getting enough sleep though, but we always know that. But I've been watching this fucking Surviving R. Kelly.
Oh, well, I didn't want to get into that. I saw some of this, and I'm like, this is. I mean, first of all, does it say shit that we didn't know?
No.
Okay, so it just okay.
No. It just gave you more of the people who are quote unquote victims now, and it is engulfed and enveloped in a huge Me Too movement type of, hey, we're coming out, and all these women are like, I'm a victim. I was, and mind you, this fucker.
We had a share of kids now. Is that?
Yes,
okay,
young, the youth. So the Touré, the writer, Touré, and used to write for MTV and has his own show or whatever else. He goes, he kind of told you what he was doing. Like every song he wrote, it was in the fucking song. Age ain't nothing but a number. Like he wrote that for me. Like, and if he read the lyrics and he was like, "Why are you guys surprised?"
Yeah.
The Pied Piper play a flute and they all follow him. And like this guy told you everything that he was doing. Trapped in a closet, he everything. And they go, wow, he really was a sicko. Yeah, but you just love the music.
You love the music. You love the music. Always talking to me.
Yes. It was just it was crazy. Yes. Yeah. It was like bumping. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. A little, freaking you. Honey love.
Yeah.
Pissing on bitches. And, everything he had, he literally said, I'm a fucking freak. I met the guy at Fubu when I did the show with them in Tampa. They did they had a big show for the Super Bowl. Where it was when the Giants were playing the Ravens.
Okay.
In Tampa, 2002.
Okay.
I had the pleasure of being on Team Fubu, and we helped promote that party. And we were all down in Tampa, and they were like, R. Kelly's coming. We coming to the party. We had a big party. Him, Ludacris, LL, and I want to tell you, this guy came in and all he said, he came in, it's the Pied Piper, big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick. It was like, hey, what? I'm singing along with this shit. And I'm like, hey, what? No, I don't want to sing this. And he was literally just like, oh, want some big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick. And I'm like, you can't say that. I don't think you were supposed to say that. And everyone was just, hey, oh yeah, over here, big dick. And I'm looking at this motherfucker like, yo, you are nuts. Certified nuts. And he was straight up, like, had his little corner, and it was like, oh, that one. Oh, what's she doing? She with him? Oh, tell him he can come through, but he gotta let her smash. Like
a while ago, I met a dude who was a roadie. Yes, and he had a couple of R. Kelly stories, and one of the things he said was that the interesting thing about R. Kelly was that he would, concerts over, all these chicks want to meet him, stuff and whatnot like that. He would choose the young, pimply-faced girl over the hot 25, 30-year-old
probably low
woman.
Self-esteem.
And he said he thought that was, he didn't pay it no mind, but then it kept happening. And he was like, this dude just likes someone like that young. And yeah, you're probably right. It probably is.
Probably was just the esteem.
Some people have this thing about, somebody who's untouched. Or or you're probably right, like a low self-esteem thing.
Yeah. They're like that in the Middle East. A lot of the clients that I've had, they've always, they're like them. They're like the young girls. Yeah, they'll pay. They pay. They like
Jesus Christ.
Send them over. Send them out here. One-way ticket. And unfortunately, human trafficking is a real thing. And you'll see that you're going to see this year, just not to switch topics, but you're going to see there's a new logo coming out for HTA, which is Human Traffic Awareness.
Okay.
And every hotel is going to be subscribed to have this posted on their and subscribe to it. Now, there is a fee.
Of course.
There is a joining. There's this whole thing about it. And AHOA, which is the Asian Hotel Owners Association, who owns, by the way, there's a fun fact for you guys, 78% of hotels in the United States are owned by this group, AHOA, meaning mostly Patel and mostly Chinese and Asian, of Asian descent. You don't have to be Asian to join, but more than likely you're going to get a name Patel on their list of guys on it. And the human trafficking organization went to them directly and said, you guys have a responsibility. You've reaped the rewards. You have all these hotels. Don't tell me you don't know who's in your fucking building. Don't tell me you don't have a responsibility that human trafficking is happening in your hotel and you can't help. You can help. You can say, hey, this doesn't look right. This guy went 5 times. 5 different people came into this room. So it begs the privacy. It begs the privacy issue. It begs the freedom. It begs the anonymity. I say this wrong all the time. It begs all of those things. But at what point are you responsible?
Yeah.
Especially if you make money from it.
Yeah.
If you have a financial gain, you should have a financial responsibility for it.
That's an interesting question.
That's a big topic and probably too much to cover today. But it's real. And you're going to see a social responsibility coming from this. And like I'm saying, I say this to say is that people are arguing over the stupidest shit. Worry about that stuff.
Well,
put some attention.
Right. We don't have an understanding about how prevalent that is throughout the world. How much slavery is still prevalent throughout the world. I mean, people want to talk about how you're oppressed here in the United States. No. Go to what's that? Go to Libya.
Go to Libya. Oh,
go to Libya, and you'll be sold.
Even in Italy,
somebody will grab you and sold you. There's a lot of places like Saudi Arabia still has
South
it. India,
America.
South America, and listen, if you're complaining about living in the United States, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yes, some people got it rough. I get it. You and I, we grew up that way a little bit,
Franks and beans,
but there's some people who have it a lot worse, and I'm not mitigating anybody's
it doesn't make it any less.
But let's put things in context. You, for the most part,
Amber Alert.
No. Did I get in it? No. You, for the most part,
yes.
You, for the most part, have it pretty freaking good.
Pretty freaking good.
You will walk into a building and lights are on, water's on.
Yep.
You're relatively fed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would agree.
Let's understand that shit is happening that it's kind of fucked up throughout the world, and you're kind of like at the top echelon.
Yeah, you are.
People talk about the 1%.
Yeah.
You know how much money you have to make to be in the 1% of earners in the world?
Yeah, it's
like $38,000. If you make $38,000 a year, you are in the 1% of earners in the world.
In the world. Okay,
right,
world.
In the world. Right. In the U.S., I think it's
way less than that.
But still, if so, you're in the 1%. So
way more. I mean,
way more.
You have to be 200,000.
So most people in this country.
Yeah.
If you have a full-time job in this country, there's a good chance you are in the top 1% of earners in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the metrics really tell a different story because it's not equatable. It doesn't have the girth because you can't buy a soda for 50 cents here. You know what I'm saying? Where you can in another country. And stuff like that. But again, these issues are real, and people should really realize that they have it. Count what you have, not what you don't.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's an excellent thing to say.
Why would you worry about shit you don't have?
Count what you have, not what you don't have.
Yeah,
that's right.
Just that's John Wooten. I take no credit for that line, but John Wooten, famed UCLA coach.
Who? John Wooden.
Wooden. The Wooten effect. Wooden. So that's what his line was. He says, "Stop telling me what you don't have. Give me what you can."
Right.
Tell me you can't run. Give me what you can.
Right.
Tell me what you can give me, and then we can work from that. Because the esoteric stuff, it's not here.
No, it's not.
And we spend more time talking about what we don't have.
And you can spend a lifetime speculating on those things, on things you don't have.
And on that note, we don't have a lot of time. So
No, we don't.
We don't have all day. So thanks for hanging out with us for the first podcast of the new year. It's Two Bros Podcast, episode 48. And thank you for staying with us.
We're out of snacks.
We're out of snacks. We're out of beer. So we're going to go refill up on that. But make sure you have a blessed day, blessed week. And if you can, be kind to someone else.
Or fuck them.
Or fuck them. Peace.
Peace out.